So Ricky Bobby Ray, Bobby Ray Ricky, and Ray Ricky Bobby, they loved basketball. Like that was their passion. Growing up in the Bluegrass State, they idolized UK. I, on the other hand, was more of a football player because I couldn't shoot, couldn't dribble, but I was all right at defense and, grabbing rebounds because especially as I got older and got to the weights, I kind of outmuscle everybody. They never played formally for the high school team and stuff, grades, also truancy, getting in trouble. But, they played it all the time in the backyard. And they were pretty good, Not that I know a whole lot about basketball, but, they'd go out here when it's especially like when it's summer and stuff and play different courts, and they'd go to different towns and play. And, sometimes they gamble. This was about 1995, about the time I graduated high school. And even though I was pretty short, I was strong. And Ricky was in jail at the time, probation violation, who knew? So they needed another man to fill out the three-man tournament. And at the time, everybody had to pitch in $30 to play, and there was like 16 teams playing. It was supposed to be like a big deal. So, back then, that was a lot of money. So we all hustled up the money, and even though I couldn't help much offensively, the plan was for me to grab the rebounds and play defense and kick the ball out to Ricky Bobby Ray and Ray Ricky Bobby. Our plan was working, and wouldn't you know it, the Rayburn brothers were on the other side of the bracket, and so it comes down to the championship game, and we're all excited to think about all the money we're going to get, and we're having to face off against them. It's like you could feel the tension in the air. It was like that face-off scene in Tombstone. So we're playing, and it's close because Ricky Bobby Ray and Ray Ricky Bobby were normally better than the Rayburn brothers at basketball. And then I was kind of the handicap, Well, less than a minute to go in the game, Ricky Bobby Ray hits his beautiful three-pointer, and so we go up by three. Harry Jack Rayburn Jr. grabs the rebound. And the previous videos, I told you how big he was. And Ray Ricky Bobby decides he's going to foul him, or he tried to foul him. Basically, Harry Jack Rayburn Jr. just running straight over. Ray Ricky Bobby had what I call the little man syndrome, where if he got mad, he tried to fight anybody, no matter what size they are or how bad he was outnumbered. So he gets up in Harry Jack Rayburn's face, or tries to, because it was kind of funny looking because Harry was so much bigger than Ray Ricky Bobby was. He's almost like a full foot taller. So they square off, and all of a sudden Harry Jack Rayburn Jr. says, "What are you going to do?" And then Ray Ricky Bobby looks at him and says, "I ain't going to do nothing." He said, points at me and says, "My nephew over there can bench over 300 pounds. He's going to slam your big A all over this basketball court." Yeah, I guess so, because I was stuck in a bind, because I had to have my cousin, uncles, whatever he was, back. But at the same time, I wasn't the one who started the fight. Also, they had their nephew, Corey Jack Rayburn III, and his equally as big best friend, Cecil McCurley, out there. And even though they were 1 year older than me, both of them were 2 grades behind me. And I knew as soon as we started fighting, they was going to jump in. But Ray Ricky Bobby didn't think about all that. Luckily, the ref stepped in. He was some kind of cop or something. Or else we probably would have took a whipping that day in more ways than one. Because there were 5 of them and only 3 of us. And I'm no mathematician, but I didn't like those odds. So they ended up calling the whole thing off and threatening us with jail if we took it outside of the parking lot, which Ray Ricky Bobby was wanting to do. And I'm no coward or nothing, but they had us 5-3 and probably outweighed us by double. I'm just glad I remember that old proverb my mom used to tell me. Discretion is the better part of valor.